how many of you like jokes? Okay, so I'll give you a joke to start off with. There were 3 hard of hearing women shopping in a square. Windy, isn't it? Said the one. No, it's Thursday, said the other. So am I, said the third. Let's have some tea. So this is a little bit of a disconnected joke to introduce my topic. Disconnected because I'm not going to speak to you about deaf people or those hard of hearing, but I'm going to speak to you about the importance of listening and how people actually love to be heard. So today I present to you my Mac Live speech called Just Listen. One of the greatest principles in human nature is the desire to feel important. It's something that we crave. We crave it almost as much as a desire for food, sleep, or even sex. This is what differentiates us from all other animals. When we listen to, we feel important. And when we're not listened to, we don't feel understood. We feel sad and disconnected. We like to talk about ourselves a lot, which is weird because we like people to listen to us. When we talk about ourselves, we feel important because we expand on our own egos. It makes us feel that people are actually hearing us. So today, I'm going to speak to you about the 3 key listening skills for you to take away. And if you take this away, I can promise you, people will like you more. So 1, a person's name to that person is the most romantic word in any language. We all have a name. It's a tag that we were given at birth. I've been alive for 23 years, and so obviously the name Alex has been mine. It's something I really don't have to think about. But when somebody else introduces themselves to me and they tell me their name, I get quite confused and I don't always remember it. And we all just say we're bad at remembering names, when in actual fact we don't listen to that person when they tell us their names. We hear them, but we don't listen to them. We use our own silence to prepare our own introduction instead of just listening to what they're saying. Using a person's name is like flirting. It makes that person feel like they're the only person in the entire room. It makes them feel comfortable with you, and it will give them your full attention immediately. Using names is effective, trust me, especially when it's your mom calling you by your full name. So about a week ago, or 2 weeks ago now, I started my work placement learning, and because I was an intern, I didn't have an access card to get into the building. I would have to wait in a long queue behind all the other interns and staff guests just to sign in so I could get into the building. And as you can see, people hate waiting in queues. We all get bored. I noticed the lady behind the counter was also quite bored. She'd sit there for hours watching people sign in, and I was just another person signing into her. I'd try to make her happy and say, "Good morning," every morning, and she would uninterestedly reply, "Morning," or "Hi." And this continued to happen for a couple of days. Until one day I asked her name. She told me. I kept repeating it in my head so I wouldn't forget, because also using the wrong name could be quite bad. So the minute I walked away from her, I wrote it down on my phone immediately and made an effort to learn it. That next day, I stood in the same line, approached the same lady with the same unhappy face. The only difference is that I used her name. "Mornings, Bokazi," I said. A smile lit up her face. "Floor 3, she asked. I nodded. I never had to sign into that building for the duration of my internship. Days after that, I greeted her by name, and the gates would magically appear open for me. No more lines, no more sign-ins, and no more dull faces. Never forget the magic that lies within somebody's name. A person's name sets them apart from everybody else. And when you use it, you make that person feel important and respected. And I promise you, it will change the way they treat you as well. As I said, we're all just bad at remembering names, when in actual fact, we are just lazy. We're not bad at it at all. We don't listen to that person when they tell us their name. We don't repeat it or write it down. But if we did, we would remember their names. Use people's names. It will work magic. Just try it. 2, shut up. It's not about you. And encourage others to speak about themselves. People are 100% more interested in themselves and their own problems than they are in you and your problems. If you want to make a good first impression, or even make a friend at a party, Try flipping the focus from you to that person standing in front of you, and you'll find yourself being well-liked wherever you go. Recently, I've read Dale Carnegie's book, excellent book, by the way, and he tells the story of a botanist. If none of you know what a botanist is, this is a person that studies plants. Dale knew what a botanist was, but he didn't know much about the topic, and he didn't know anyone at the party. So when he met the botanist, he showed interest in him, and he was actually fascinated at what the botanist was saying. He spoke to him the entire night while disregarding everybody else at the party, and the next day, the host of the party the botanist told the host of the party that Carnegie was the most interesting conversationalist that he had ever met. When the host of the party told Carnegie this, he found it to be quite funny, as he hadn't really spoken much that night at all. But when he thought about it, what he had done was listen. He listened to the botanist with patience and interest. He asked questions about flowers and trees and botany. He learned a lot and made a lifelong friend that he continued to see after that night. Carnegie was interesting to speak to because he was interested. Ask questions, arouse people with your curiosity. As Fifi said, people will love it and they will enjoy answering. And this is because they know they're being heard. And that's the point I'm trying to make, is that people like to be heard. Ask people questions and speak about them. They will enjoy the conversation more, and so will you. You'll meet the most amazing people and learn a lot. So imagine yourself on a date. Your date's a hottie, everything is perfect. He takes you to an amazing restaurant, buys you steak, wine, pays the bill, everything. And you leave the night knowing absolutely everything about this guy, only to realize he hasn't asked you one question about yourself. He incessantly spoke about himself, and if you did speak, he didn't listen to you for long. If he had an idea while you were speaking, he would bust right in and interrupt you in the middle of your conversation. He wouldn't even let you finish. I don't know about you, but I really would not be interested in a guy like this. How can you have an interesting conversation with someone who is so intoxicated with their sense of self? If this guy had to give you his full attention while you were speaking, I can assure you there are very few things as flattering as that. So, research actually shows those who are meeting others for the first time were more likable if they spoke in terms of somebody else's interest and asked open-ended questions than those who didn't. So guys, take note, and remember, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in that person than you can in 2 years by trying to get that person interested in you. If you can talk about a person, you'll without a doubt be a good listener. 3, learn. Let me give you some Wednesday wisdom from the Dalai Lama. When you talk, you're only repeating the words you know. But when you listen, you may learn something new. So let others be teachers. Even if they aren't teachers, let them be teachers. Let them speak about their ideas and their beliefs. Be open to their opinions and let them be teachers. Take your expert mentality and flush it down the toilet. You actually know nothing. Open your ears and listen to people. Let people be teachers. In the story that I just told you about Dale Carnegie and the botanist, if Carnegie had not shown exclusive attention and interest, he would have learned nothing. But instead, he walked away with a lot of knowledge in botany. You too can become mini experts in so many subjects if you just listen to people. Try to get yourselves into the habit of walking away from a conversation and thinking, what did I learn from this? You might find it difficult at times. You'll have to push your ego down, throw your judgment aside, and do away with your opinions. But remember, we're all superior in our own way, and in that we have something to learn from everyone. So just listen and let others be teachers. You'll be amazed what you learn. So everything I've said is backed by research. I didn't make any of this up. If you listen to people, people will feel important. And a way to make people feel important is to remember their names and use their names when you're speaking to them. Ask questions. Arouse people with your curiosity to show them that you're interested in them. And lastly, listen to others and let others be teachers. Open your ears and you'll find yourself understanding people better. If you understand people better, they will like you more, and you'll be able to really experience true empathy. And as Meryl Streep says, with empathy, you'll be able to stay alert and alive and involved in the lives of others. You'll be able to build stronger relationships with others, and you'll be able to understand them better, so you'll be able to give them what they actually need. Whether they are your customers, your boyfriends, your moms, your dads, your girlfriends, it doesn't matter. So open your ears and just listen.